Tuck that chain in, man.
He already got it tucked. He already got it tucked.
Nah. Sure, what's up, man? You know, we appreciate you coming on. First off, like, you're a little banged up. How's your health? That's first and foremost.
Definitely banged up right now. The good thing shouldn't be nothing too serious. I think it just need, rest and the proper treatment and recovery time.
Right. We've been tuning in, man. I've seen that you guys, guys been in and out of the lineup. Been a rough year in general, but we all know when somebody goes down, so always another guy opportunity to step up, and Michael Porter Jr. has stepped up. Like I don't know much about his game because he didn't, obviously didn't play before COVID as much, but now you've seen it. Like, what do you think is his potential? Like, where you see him going at, like, with his skill set?
With Mike, I mean, at 6'10" and legit, he might be 6'11", but he definitely is like, man, you talk all the time. You know basketball talk. Like, somebody might say they 6'10" and they might be 6'8", 6'9". He a legit 6'10", like a tall 6'10", and he's long and athletic. And with that height and be able to put the ball on the floor and create and shoot, I mean, the sky's really the limit. It's really gonna come down to him
Right.
and his health. If he can withstand an 82-game season, playing major minutes, then I feel like the sky's the limit for him. Because the one thing I can say about him being around him these last few years, he really loves the game. And,
Right.
You haven't been that far removed from the league, and you know how some of these young kids come in now. They don't truly love it.
Right.
And they don't really want to do the things that they need to do to continue to get better. And he loves to be in the gym. He loves to learn. And when you add that with his talent and his skill set, I mean, Jameer, I don't really say that about a lot of guys. He could be a superstar.
Yeah, nah. I mean, we talk a lot, and you don't really say it about a lot of guys. But for you, like for you, your journey has been to be a gym rat, and that's what got you where you are right now. Every time I'll be like, I think I probably told you we was on the same time. Like, yo, you need to take some time. You need to rest because I get my work in, and then you was getting your work in double time. And then I'm starting looking. I'm like, well, that's what he's supposed to do. He young, he hungry, he trying to get it. And I remember my first time seeing you play, like live in the NBA. They checked you in the game versus Portland, and I'm guarding you. I'm like, man, this dude keep running around trying to get rebounds. So I'm like, man, let me. I think I might have hit you with an elbow. Let me slow this young whippersnapper down a little bit. But no, I definitely admire, like, for me being around you, just seeing how you have developed as a player. But your work ethic, man, has been it was good to see. And now that you're a veteran, it's for those young guys to realize, like, this is what it's about. Like you said, like you guys have a locker room full of guys who nobody actually believed in when you look at your locker room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like, everybody was like, well, look at Gary. Whatever pick he was, he should have got picked later in the draft or whatever. But look at Jokic. Like, everybody thought Jokic was going to be, I don't even know what they thought he was going to be. They didn't think he was going to be a superstar.
Remember his first training camp?
Yeah, his first training camp, he couldn't even speak English. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, right?
But even like the whole landscape of the Nuggets organization, you're talking about just go from Tim, the GM, like, people, people thought different of Tim. You know what I'm saying? Mike Malone, people, like, look at all the stuff you guys have in your locker room, in your organization, man. Like, it's just, to me, like, y'all are a blue collar working team.
Yeah. Well, like you said, man, I learned to work from playing with guys like you. I always loved the game from when I was young. Like, if you watch my game, you could tell I played a lot in the streets, but I didn't really know how to, work other than games because, coming where we come from, it was just go out there, play outside, play in the backyard, and just hoop. So once I got to the league, that was the first time I really was able to see guys really, like, have trainers, and do other things besides just play 5-on-5. And once I seen that and I seen how much it make your game grow, my love for the game just made me, say, okay, that must be the next step for me to become very good in the NBA. Because, once you get to the NBA, it's starting over. Don't matter what you did in high school, college, everybody was good. So it's starting over. And, I had a lot of good vets, but since, we on Zoom with you, I'm just going to talk about you. Like, when I got to Denver, you were always already who you were. I mean, an all-star, a guy that played in the NBA Finals, so you did everything that I aspired to do, and you were in your later years in your career, and you was always in the gym.
Right.
So I'm like, if I'm way younger than this guy and I'm trying to establish myself into a player that, everyone in the league thinks is good and wants on his team, if he's still in the gym, that means I got to be in the gym even more because he's already accomplished everything and he still wants more. Like I remember that one time before a game, I came to the gym and you was already in there shooting. And I'm like, damn, this guy is the veteran out here. So it's like, it made me challenge myself like, man, I got to, whatever I'm doing, I must be doing right because, one of the best guys in the league that I've seen is still doing this. So I got to still do it. And like you said, our team is full of, overachievers, if you want to say. Like you said, he got drafted while a commercial was going on. Gary, he got drafted first round, but, a lot of people gave up on him at his rookie year. Paul Millsap, another second rounder. So, like you said, we got a locker room full of guys like that. So it definitely fuels us and, hopefully we can keep winning and hopefully get over that hump.
What did you learn from that just before the Nuggets that, everyone's watching Portland right now, Damian Lillard. What was that experience like with the Trailblazers coming into the league?
It was eye-opening for me. Like I just said, coming from college, just winning Player of the Year in my conference. Was only a sophomore, putting up big numbers. And, you feeling yourself. You like, man, I'm about to get drafted. I'm thinking I'm going to be one of the guys. I'm looking at the rosters. And, from the outside looking in, you only know big names. So I'm like, oh, they got LaMarcus and Wesley Matthews and Nick Batum. And I'm like, and besides Dame, who we drafted with, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to, get some minutes. So I'm coming in there. I remember the first day, I'll never forget, open gym. Man, Sasha Pavlovich bust my ass. I couldn't get a shot off. He was scoring on me at will, and it made me realize how good guys really are in the league. And it gave me a different respect level for guys that don't even play a lot anymore because I remember watching Sasha in Cleveland, and, he was past those years with Portland. So I'm like, maybe it's over with for him, but guy was still good. So it made me realize, I really had to start over and I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
Yeah, that's important, man. Like for young dudes to come in, you're going to get humbled at some point. You're going to be a situation is going to humble you, but it's how you react when you hit that adversity or you hit that humbling situation. And obviously you reacted the right way. Because we've been around some guys who, young guys who come in the league and think they're this and that, and they're given a lot and it gets taken away or somebody takes it away somehow. Yep. They don't react well to that. Like certain guys, you got to be mentally tough. And I think, man, your upbringing, coming from Baltimore, stuff like that plays a lot. Not discrediting anybody else's hood or anything like that, but I know a lot about Baltimore, just like a lot about, where I'm from Manchester. So it's similar. Like you either gonna sink or you gonna swim.
For sure.
Go ahead, build your chest hair out, man.
Well, Will, I was just gonna say, overall, how's the bubble experience been? You got that COVID test you were on before you got on with us. What's Orlando been like? Take us inside for what this experience has been like for you.
I'm gonna keep real with you. It's like jail, man. It's like the closest thing. I've never been to jail, but this probably is the closest thing. And it made me realize I better not ever get in trouble because I ain't gonna be able to take that. I ain't gonna be able to take that. But it's different, man. It's something, it's a new experience. Everyone down here has never, had to go through anything like this. And I feel like it's really gonna test your mental toughness and living the way you haven't had to live. A lot of restrictions. You can't have guests. You really can't leave the premises. And it's just, basketball, and then, you go to your room or you walk around or, play golf or fish and things like that. But it's definitely different.
What are you personally done to kill time? What have you been up to?
Things like this, I done got on Zoom calls, talk to my PR people, try to figure out ways that, I can still give back to my neighborhood and my city and where I'm from, especially with all, COVID things going on. And can't forget, racism is at an all-time high. So I've been talking to my people about doing things like that. And staying in touch with my family and my loved ones is, to me, the most important things in the times that's going on right now. Making sure that I'm, talking to them a lot and telling them I love them, because these times is really showing me that, life is really short and it's precious, and you can't get, none of that time back. And I'm just doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reflecting, and just trying to become a better version of me. We're not perfect. None of us perfect. So I'm just trying to, shape myself and mold myself as I get older, man, and just become a better version of me, basically.
You know Jameer pretty well. Jameer, how would Jameer like this bubble situation? I mean, Jameer, what do you think?
Listen, Jameer would have a bottle or something in his room.
I need Jameer here.
Nah, man, Ben, man, people don't realize that for me, like, everybody see me all serious and everything, but I was like the team clown even as I got older, just because I wanted everybody to laugh and wanted the locker room to be loose. In my last few years, I lived by myself. My family didn't come with me, so I wasn't in a bubble, but I had to find stuff to do, and not get in trouble doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, I would go out to eat with D Brown pretty much every night. We sit down, watch whatever football game on, baseball, whatever, at a restaurant, chill, man. And I would try to bring guys together, because you don't, the guys in your locker room is the people you spend the most time with anyway, outside of a bubble, when you're playing in NBA. And it's even more, you need those guys even more now, because everybody's going through the same situation. Everybody's in it. And I never was a guy who interacted with other teams or anything like that. But I probably would do that if I was there. Just a little bit. I don't get into all the card games and shit like that, but you can go have some shots, take some shots or something, you know what I'm saying? Go watch some games, go play. I ain't playing 18. I go play 9 holes. After an hour and a half, I'm hot and I'm ready to go home.
Will, how do you guys are playing against the Jazz in the playoffs? How do you see that matchup looking, just from the outside looking in? Take me through kind of how you look at that matchup.
First and foremost, I'm picking us to win. I don't have any predictions, but seriously, though, it's gonna be a good competitive series. We're down, me and Gary Harris, which will be tough, but I think our team can overcome that with the depth and versatility that we have. They got Donovan Mitchell, who's a stud over there. Rudy, clogging up the paint, blocking shots, rebounding. And they're tough defensively, and they're well coached too. And they play the right way. They got Jordan Clarkson coming out the bench who can fill it up in a hurry. So it's definitely going to present, a challenge for us. But I just feel like if Jokic is who he is, and Jamal, scores and does what he does, with the emergence of Mike, I feel like we still got enough to overcome.
I agree. I think, I'm not being biased. I do think you guys can win that series, and hopefully you know, it's like one game at a time, one series at a time. If you guys get by them, hopefully you and Gary can come back and give the team a little more of a boost. But don't sleep on Joe Ingles though. He looked like an accountant. He looked like an accountant. But
I'm glad you just said that. I'm glad you just said that, Jameer, because he one of my most underrated players in the league.
Yeah.
And I forgot his dynamic because I mean you've been here with us. He done picked us apart so many times, and I don't even think he ever scored over 20.
Nah, but he just like a dude on the team everybody can use. He's 6'7", 6'8", whatever, however tall, left hand, slow, crafty. And I always mess with him. I hope he watches. I always mess with him because his shoes be so tight that the two pieces from each side be touching. And he always with a dirty Kobe's. That's the dude you see in the park. You like, man, I ain't picking that dude.
Right.
He get on a team that you about to play against. He bust your ass, and you be like, damn.
And he's solid. And a lot of people don't give him credit. He's solid on defense.
He is.
He don't really make a lot of mistakes. Like you said, on offense, he's going to make the right play almost every time. His passing is pinpoint, and he's slow, but he's crafty. And he knows how to bait the defense in to get either open threes or he always get that lob to Rudy. So his role is definitely what he does could impact the series a lot as well.
Yeah.
Bojan Bogdanovic is out. That's lucky. Bojan Bogdanovic is kind of that similar type of player, and him being out for the Jazz, I think, is a big help to the Nuggets, to you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he was averaging 20 points per game this year.
40% from three.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. The way he was shooting the ball, that's definitely.
He shoot it from anywhere. He shoot from anywhere all the time.
Yeah,
you know he gonna shoot.
They definitely going to be missing him, and you know, you never want to see no one hurt, but it definitely helps us. So, you know, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how it play out.
I do think of all the teams though that I wish we were seeing that Denver home court.
Yeah, that's an advantage, man. People is a real advantage when it comes to the altitude, especially. I mean, I haven't played in Denver in the playoffs, but when you're home longer than 3, 4, 5 days in a series, the altitude that'll help you as a home team, man. I mean, people during regular season, people don't realize, all right, you do have an advantage some games, some stretches of the season, but you in and out of town too, so you got to get used to the altitude too.
But it's tough. It's tough to play in Utah.
Yeah, it's tough.
It be rocking in there, so I can only imagine how I would have been in the playoffs. That's a tough environment. We didn't always had trouble getting wins there.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, like so without the fans, obviously you haven't played, but without the fans, how is it in the arenas? Like because I know watching on TV, we hear like the crowd noise, and I was a virtual fan for the Magic. They had my bubble head, my big ass head on the screen. So I was like trying to figure out, like, I'm like, damn, can like the players hear me? Because I ain't want to be saying nothing crazy. I'm sitting with my daughter here. I'm trying to visit my daughter and shit. But
we can't hear you guys talking.
Really?
We can't hear. The feel is, you want to know what it really feel like, Jameer? It feel like it feels like, you know, when everyone comes back to their market for the teams, and before training camp starts, we had those hoops.
Yeah.
And that's when, you know, they start getting a little serious because everyone trying to, you know, get in shape for training camp and, you know, establish themselves and stuff like that. It's almost like a high intensity open gym.
So when CJ just hit that shot, right? And watching the game, he hit the shot versus Ja Morant. And he said he can't fucking guard me. Ja Morant can hear that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ja Morant can hear that. That's just like you giving somebody a bucket in open gym, like I said, and you talking your shit, you popping your shit. So he could definitely hear that. Ain't no mute button on that floor, baby.
See, I don't know, man. Like if you hit a big shot over me and you say he can't fucking guard me, I'm gonna take that a little personal. And I'm gonna see you like on the campus, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he looked in the camera and said, y'all on the campus, the bubble campus. He looked in the camera and said he can't fucking guard me.
Yeah,
damn.
I mean, but at the same time, I mean,
he ain't lying though when he said it though. He ain't lying.
Not even that though. I mean, you can't take that person, because what if it's someone that, you know, that's a very good defender and you scoring them, and is in the clutch, you forgetting you're lost in the moment. Like, I love you to death. If me and you hooping in the gym and we going at it,
Right.
you know what I mean? And I scoring you, I'm gonna say, oh, this motherfucker can't guard me, even though I know it's still Jameer Nelson after that moment. But in the moment, I ain't thinking about that. I'm gonna say that because that's a big shot. That's just like if it's 10-10 in open gym and you hit the game winner on me, and it's tough, and we've been talking shit the whole open gym. I'm your man's, but during that moment, you might say, hey, Thrill can't guard me.
I can tell you this,
Get him
Gerald.
the fuck off me.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't guard you 10 years ago, and I definitely can't guard you now.
Hey, listen, I can't guard myself right now. You can look right now in this moment, you can definitely guard me.
Oh man. Nah, this been good. Now we appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna wrap it up. And
we need to do one with all us and Wilson.
hey, look, listen, we should do it. I'm gonna try to set that up.
We need to do that, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, Will.
Y'all.
Hope you get healthy soon.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, baby.
Yeah.